Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Last week we got an update for Klassic Sub Zero where they kind of reworked his kit just a little bit. The main thing that we got out of that is his special now will freeze all enemies within an area of effect around the ice clone. He was already a pretty decent character, but having this extra effect to his special ability does make him a lot more effective in battle. If you did invest in the Classic team early, it's good to see that they are reworking a couple of these characters, first of all with Cabal and now with Sub Zero, so that way you are going to get a little bit more use out of them. Hopefully, if they are going to do that with the other characters in the team, that it might just bring them on par a bit more with the MK1 team, so we do have a little bit more variety there. As it turns out, I really am in need of a good attacker to add to my roster, so I am going to summon him into my roster now for you guys to see. We do also have the return of his Khronicle event, and I'll get into my thoughts on that after I summon him in, but let's get going with our first summon here. I've had some pretty good luck on these summons so far. I don't think I've ever had to go the full 80 summons to get the character, so hopefully we don't have to go that far this time either. But I'm quite happy to boost some of those combo meters like this for some of those 4-star characters that I haven't quite completed. This is definitely a great way to do that, and I definitely want to be boosting Shinnok a little bit further. Let's see if we can get a few copies of him going. I do tend to get quite a lot of 4 stars during these summons, so it's always good to see. There's one copy of Shinnok there. I think that takes him up to combo 2, yes. But while we're doing this summon, I want to get some opinions from you guys, how you feel about some of these character reworks and even the returning Khronicle events. The character reworks are always welcome because sometimes when they design these characters, they don't always function the way that they wanted them to once the teams are all assembled, especially when they go up against some other teams that are a little bit more polished. So going back to the drawing board and adding a few little minor details to some of these characters just to flesh them out a little bit better and make those teams a bit more competitive, I think is definitely a positive. It just shows that the developers are still really interested in improving the game, but these return Khronicle events are a little bit more divisive, and I feel there is a large portion of the player base that's getting a little frustrated with that. Hang on a second, here we go, here is our Sub Zero. Let's see if we can get more than one copy at a time. Probably not, but we can always hope. No, only the one, but that is fine. We've unlocked him. And while I'm at, I've also completed Jax's combo meter. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, all upgraded, nice and shiny, new Classic Sub Zero. I did run out of some gear pieces while I was doing the upgrades on some of the gear there, so I'll finish that off over the next few days. But that weapon there alone has 30% critical chance on it, which is awesome. And don't forget that that relic is his fatality relic that you can get 2 copies of from this Khronicle event. It'll be really good to put this guy to use. It's always great to have another solid character added to the roster, but I do want to address the elephant in the room because I know that there are a lot of players that are a little frustrated with the lack of content in the game. I have tried to keep things very positive with the return of all of these Khronicle events because there are some advantages. If you join the game late, you do have a chance to now play those events and summon those characters into your roster. You also get another chance at the relics, the blue orbs, all of the other things that are in the event store that are always great to grab from the Khronicle events. But repeat events just don't create the excitement in the game. It's fine to rerun these events, maybe drop them back to 2 weeks instead of 3 weeks, but what you want to be doing is adding some content in the meantime that's fresh and new. So you can go back and you can do the Khronicle event, but then you can work on something else to build your roster up with some new characters, maybe some other events that are just going to give us a fresh take on the game. One thing that I've been saying since the very start is that this game needs some kind of social aspect. There's no guild or alliance type mode in the game, so you can't kind of play with your friends or create groups of like-minded fans of the game. You can even chat in game just while you're playing. If this was added, it would open up so many more opportunities for content. Even if it's things like team versus team, you could have a raid type system. Say you had someone like Onaga where you were going through the dragon army and he was the big boss that you had to take down. That could be something really good for teams to work towards. And it really builds up that community in the game where people have to work together. And it's something that a lot of games can build a lot of success around. In terms of other game modes that they could bring in, towers have always been something associated with Mortal Kombat. So why not adapt this game to have some tower battles? You could have an event that would run over the course of a week. Even if you picked a theme, say for example you chose Black Dragon, the Black Dragon could be the characters that you have to use for the event. And then as you progress through the towers, you have different levels of rewards. You could even start bringing in the legendary gear. You could bring in some exclusive relics and even have an exclusive character that you can win if you complete the final tower. And if you're doing Black Dragon, you might win a new version of Kano, for example. They could even have an adaptation of Invasions mode where you could have your map, you're going around fighting different battles, winning different rewards each time, finding that final boss, and again, maybe you win an exclusive character from this event if you can beat that final boss. The main thing here is having these events that can change every week or every month and just rotate around with different characters, different themes, make us use our entire roster for different events. These are the kind of things that just give the game a little bit more purpose and a little bit more excitement. So the fans that are already in the game have got more things that they can do, more reasons to build some of those characters up, even if they don't use them very often. Because my biggest concern is that all of this repeat content is just going to make players a little bit bored with the game, and if they walk away, it's going to be very hard to bring them back. There is a base for a very good game here. It just needs a little bit more thought, a little bit more content to go in. Now, I don't know what the developers might actually be working on. Maybe this is stuff that is going to happen, but I just like to float some ideas out there because I really do want to see this game succeed. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you happy with the way that the game is going? Would you like to see some other content entered into the game? Let me know your thoughts. And if you do want to support the channel, a super thanks would be very much appreciated. Other than that, guys, like and sub, you know the deal. We got plenty more Onslaught coming your way. Don't miss out, and I'll catch you in the next one.